I've been telling you guys there is no interest in pretend basketball. I have been telling you guys for years, as the mainstream media has intentionally lied to us. These elite athletes are amazing! This is the best basketball in the world! Woohoo!
Brace yourself, because these figures are ugly, and they don't care about anyone's feelings. Unrivaled's second season hit TNT and barely scraped together 107,000 viewers. Last year, opening night pulled 313,000. That's not a normal decline. That's a free fall, a complete collapse. And here's the truth nobody in sports media wants to admit. Women's basketball just exposed its biggest secret. There is only one real attraction, and she's not playing.
Season 2 of Unrivaled, opening night. They averaged 107,000 viewers on TNT. That is a 65% decline compared to last year.
When Caitlin Clark disappears from the screen, the audience vanishes with her. Not Angel Reese. Not Paige Bueckers. Not Aya Wilson, however her name is trending this week. None of them move the needle. Unrivaled is cutting checks worth $348,000 to Paige Bueckers, and the return? About 107,000 viewers. That's roughly $17,000 worth of eyeballs. Sit with that. TNT poured millions into marketing this league, and the response was deafening silence. For months, we were sold a story. Mainstream media swore women's basketball was booming. They told us elite talent demanded elite attention and elite money. But the audience had its own opinion, and it delivered a brutal verdict. This isn't about wanting more women's basketball. The numbers are screaming that viewers want less. And that brings us to the real reason Unrivaled even exists. On paper, it sounds noble. A backup league. Extra leverage. A safety net for WNBA players to force better contracts. The idea was simple: walk into negotiations knowing you've got another option. Threaten to leave. Demand 30% of gross revenue. Hold the line. Except there's a problem. Your leverage only works if the backup plan survives. And Unrivaled isn't surviving, it's sinking.
For months now, WNBA players have publicly claimed that we are standing firm, we are fighting for our right to be overpaid, we are fighting for our right to be compensated with money we have no way of earning.
This league was supposed to be the ace card during CBA talks. Instead, it turned into dead weight. The CBA deadline was supposed to be today. It's obviously not happening. But here's the part that borders on comedy. After months of strike threats and tough talk, WNBA players are now considering playing under the same old CBA they called insulting. The same deal they said wasn't good enough. How do you go from demanding millions to settling for pennies in less than 2 months? Easy. You lose leverage. Every embarrassing Unrivaled rating strips power away from the players. Every time TNT executives look at those numbers and question why they invested, the players' position weakens. The NBA offered 50% of net revenue, money left after expenses. That's reasonable for a league that's hemorrhaged cash for 3 decades. But the players rejected it. They want 30% of gross revenue before expenses. That proposal would torch the league to the tune of $700 million. More than it's lost in its entire existence. Here's the insanity. The league is now offering million-dollar contracts, the exact thing players originally demanded. But now that entitlement has kicked in. Pride, stubbornness, ego. They'd rather cling to principles than accept the deal they asked for. Unfortunately, the electric company doesn't accept principles. Your landlord doesn't care about feelings. Bills demand reality, and reality is doing its job. The market is speaking loudly. All those stories about explosive growth? An illusion. All that talk about new stars rising? Fiction. This wasn't a revolution. It was going from zero interest to slightly above zero while the media pretended history was being made. If the season happens under the old CBA, the league has zero reason to rush negotiations. Why would they? The product already damages the brand. Let players walk. Let them strike. Let the world see just how replaceable they are. And that leads to the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to confront. The WNBA survives on NBA subsidies. Period. Billionaire owners have carried this league for 30 years despite non-stop losses, complaints, and PR headaches. But patience has limits. And Unrivaled just proved there is no alternative market waiting for these players. Nafisa Collier can talk sustainability. Brianna Stewart can promote the future. But when your opening night audience drops 65% from an already mediocre baseline, the warning signs couldn't be clearer. TNT can't keep throwing money at something that can't attract flies. Longevity is the WNBA's only advantage. Survival, not success. Every startup league keeps making the same mistake. They think the product is great but misunderstood. They think better marketing will unlock demand. It won't. The audience has been offered this product again and again and rejected it every time. Paige Bueckers is the perfect example. Massive hype. Massive paycheck. Endless media praise. Supposed to be the next face of the sport. And yet only 107,000 people showed up. That's college volleyball territory. That's weekday minor league baseball. That's not stardom. That's branding pretending to be popularity. The players' union made a fatal error. They assumed Caitlin Clark's success meant everyone's value skyrocketed. They confused correlation with causation. One generational star does not elevate an entire league's worth. And now reality is delivering consequences fast and unforgiving. If the 2026 season runs under the old CBA, watch the unity disappear. The loudest voices about solidarity will be the first to grab individual deals. Equity sounds great until you realize you're dividing spare change. When beliefs don't pay mortgages, beliefs suddenly become flexible. And let's end the illusion. The NBA doesn't need the WNBA.